Good morning. It's Friday. It's about 6:45 a.m. I don't know whether it's just a little dark or whether it's also overcast, but I kind of remember it being brighter the other day this early. But anyway, just checking in. Everything is still going well with the diet. I am still maintaining. I have about 3 weeks left of this so-called diet break before I dive back into a deficit and really start my contest prep, like 25 weeks out from my first competition. I am giving myself plenty of time so I could lose nice and slow. So I'm maintaining about just under 200 pounds. I'm eating maybe just a little above 3,100 calories. And that breaks down to like 230 something grams of protein, 300, I want to say off the top of my head, I don't know, 360-ish, 370-ish something grams of carbs, and like 66 grams of fat, something like that. I mean, the exact macros aren't really that important, but it's plenty of protein, plenty of carbs, and just enough fat. Feeling good, training's going well. I've been wearing my step tracker. I don't really walk a consistent amount every day. Like some days are a little bit lower than others, and then some days just whatever. I make a stop at the food store, and then I stop at Home Depot, and I have maybe a one more client than normal one day or whatnot, and all of a sudden I have 12,000 steps that day versus another day where I have 8. But the average steps so far is like over 9,000 steps a day, which is awesome because I'm not trying to get my steps in. It's just happening. So the idea being that when I start dieting, I'm going to aim to simply, whatever my average steps were leading into my prep, leading into my calorie deficit, I'm going to aim to maintain that average going forward. Just as a way to, prevent my body from, a lot of times when you're in a diet, your body just like, I don't know if subconsciously is the word, but your body tries to reserve energy by moving less, unbeknownst to you. You're not doing it intentionally, it just happens. And so tracking your steps and maintaining your steps is at least one way to try and combat that. It's not a perfect system, but it's kind of all we have. I don't have any other way of tracking all of my other incidental activity, like waving my arms and tapping my feet and all that. So the best I have to go by, or any of us have to go by, I believe, is tracking steps. And at least that's one way to say, hey, at least I'm maintaining my steps. I'm not letting that drop off. So anyway, I've been tracking that, and can't believe I've waited so long to get like a Fitbit type of watch. I mean, I had one before, just never really stuck. I just, took it off and never put it on again. But this time I'm very interested in tracking the steps, tracking my sleep. I could track my heart rate, take my blood pressure. It's really cool, man, for like, $30. It's a great little tool. And I've been experimenting with like different carbs, pre-workout and post-workout, oatmeal, cream of rice. Let's go, brother. Oatmeal, cream of rice. I just bought maltodextrin to put in my post-workout shake. Just trying to make it easier on me to get through. The cream of rice is good. It's kind of doesn't have much of a flavor unless you season it with something. I guess oatmeal is kind of the same way, but oatmeal has that like oat flavor. It has more of a distinctive flavor. Oatmeal digests a little bit slower. Cream of rice digests supposedly a lot faster. I don't know how really dramatically important that is, especially when you're on a prep and you're trying to feel more satiated. You're not bulking. You're not trying to just get food down as quickly as possible and on to the next meal. So, and therefore the maltodextrin, I don't know if that was even remotely necessary, but I was giving it a shot. It's just easier to put a few scoops of maltodextrin into your post-workout shake than trying to make yourself a bowl of like watery cream of rice the night before, so it's cold for the next day, so you could add it to your shake. I just found that to be a pain in the ass. The whole process of making cream of rice just seemed to be a pain in the ass to me. You have to like stand in front of the microwave and zap it for like 30 seconds at a time, keep reaching in and stirring it, and if you like walk away or you overheat it too much, it's going to overflow the bowl and spill out all over the microwave, and I've done that a couple times. Whereas oatmeal, you just eyeball the water, pop it in for 2 minutes, take it out, mix it up, it's done. I don't know, it just seemed way easier. So I switched my pre-workout little bite to eat here back to oatmeal and a scoop of protein, taken like roughly 2 hours before I train. And then the post-workout right now is just protein, creatine, banana, and some maltodextrin. And we'll see if that changes. I could always swap out the maltodextrin for just the quick oats. Throw it right in the shake, blend it up. It blends fine, and it tastes good. It adds that like earthy, oaty flavor to the shake. I like it. So, like I said, I don't know how critical it is that the carbs get back into my body like immediately or I'm gonna die. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think when you're during prep, as long as you eat something within a reasonable period of time after your workout, and that meal does contain a high quality protein and does contain a high, enough carbohydrates and is relatively low in fat, that first meal, I think you're ahead of the game. And if it contains some slow digesting carbs, then you just end up feeling fuller for longer, and I think that's probably more important than somehow having to race to replenish your muscle glycogen like that minute. I just don't think it's that critical. Like, your body is going to replenish its muscle glycogen. It's not like it's not going to. So whether it takes 20 minutes or it takes 2 hours, it's going to happen. So I don't think it's that critical, especially if you're only training like once a day. So anyway, there's my rant on post-workout carbs and cream of rice. And then on the business front, I'm still working behind the scenes on my in-home personal training business. I'm going to have a buddy of mine who is an amateur photographer. I'm going to have him take the pictures for the website, because I think it's important. It's important to have pictures of me on the website, like training people, just so I'm just not using stock photos or some AI generated photos. And slowly collecting some of the equipment stuff that I'll be bringing with me. Nothing like bands, TRX, things like that. I already have a lot of that stuff from when I owned the gym, but I'm gonna start fresh, so everything's nice and clean. That's about it. So I'm getting antsy. To start dieting and seeing progress. It's always been difficult for me to just maintain, because that is a challenge in and of itself, is practicing the skill of maintaining your body weight and eating to maintain your body weight. But this time around, I feel like it had a purpose. Like, I was purposefully maintaining because I knew I had to recover from my previous calorie deficit. And I was also using this as a testing ground to test out maybe different food choices, and also using it as a way to if at all possible, kind of like, nudge up my metabolism a little bit before diving back into a calorie deficit. So it wasn't just maintaining, like, oh, I'm just going to maintain now for the next 6 months. It's like it had a specific timeline and a deadline. So I find it easy, but I do feel like I feel no worse for the wear for the dieting that I did this past year, and I am like chomping at the bit, ready to dive back into a calorie deficit and really kickstart this contest prep and see some progress in that regard. So very excited. Just wanted to record that update, and that's it. I'm around the corner from my first client, and I'm gonna throw down some of this oatmeal here and then get in there and start my day. I have a back workout on tap today, and that's the only other thing to report is this like 3 weeks that I kind of brought my training volume down to like an absolute minimum amount. I'm gonna start bumping that up starting next week, and so just kind of feeling out the process, just kind of slowly raising my training volume and see where that takes me. So have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.